Former CIA Deputy Director Michael Morell endorsed Hillary Clinton in Friday's New York Times. The former CBS News contributor called Trump, quote, a threat to our national security. I spoke with Morell last night on my PBS program.
So tell me about why you felt compelled to change where you were, contributor to CBS, on public boards, former acting director and deputy director of the CIA, a man who'd gained increasing respect for his voice because of his access to media, to say, I'm going in a different direction.
Two things, I think, brought me to the decision to write the op-ed. One was a growing belief that Donald Trump, Mr. Trump, right, I want to be respectful here, that Mr. Trump would be a threat to our national security as commander-in-chief. He has said things on the campaign trail that have assisted our adversaries, that have assisted Vladimir Putin, that have assisted ISIS. And then the second was, I've known Hillary Clinton a long time, and I felt that some of the perceptions that are out there about her are just not true. And so putting both of those reasons together, I decided to speak out. And one of the things, Charlie, that struck me as I was going through this, and I was actually writing the op-ed and talking to people about my views, is that there are many people who share my views. There are many people who share what I wrote in that op-ed, but they're afraid to speak out. They're afraid of being attacked. They're afraid of the Republican Party not being with them down the road, right? I felt afraid of not speaking out. I felt afraid of the consequences of not speaking out. And I think that serious Republicans, of which there are many, need to think about the consequences of not speaking out.
Morell also criticized Trump's relationship with Russia's president.
Here's what I would like to see him do. I would like to see him stand up tomorrow and denounce Putin's military incursion into Ukraine. I'd like to see him denounce Putin's annexation of Crimea. I'd like to see him denounce Putin's assistance to the rebels in eastern Ukraine that resulted in the shoot-down of the Malaysian airliner. I'd like to see him renounce what Putin is doing in Syria, supporting a butcher and a dictator, right? I'd like to see him just stand up and denounce Putin. And I'll tell you that at the end of the day, Putin would have more respect for him than he does now.
You said he's an agent of the Russian Federation.
Unwitting
agent of the Russian Federation.
Of the Federation. He's been recruited by Putin. That's why he's taken the positions he's taken.
Morell also talked about what he personally would like to see done in Syria, what he would like to see done in Syria to end the civil war there.
When we were in Iraq, the Iranians were giving weapons to the Shia militia who were killing American soldiers, right? The Iranians were making us pay a price. We need to make the Iranians pay a price in Syria. We need to make the Russians pay a price. Here's the other thing I want to do. I want to go after those things that Assad sees as his personal power base. I want to scare Assad. I want to destroy his presidential aircraft on the ground. I want to destroy his presidential helicopters. I want to make him think we're coming after him, right? I'm not advocating assassinating him. I am not advocating that. I'm advocating going after what he thinks is his power base, right, and what he needs to survive. I want him to think about, this is not going to end well for me.
What he is saying there is that he would like to see this done on the ground by our allies, the people who are in opposition to the Assad government, that they ought to be doing more to make the Russians fear, the Iranians fear, and Assad fear.
I remember after reading Michael Morell's book, I said at the time, badass, because he certainly has the credentials to back up all the things that he said, but he's really stepping out and speaking up.
It shows you how someone who's been involved with the CIA, the mind think, you know, a sense of how he sees the world. And as he said, there are many others like him.
Yeah, you wonder how much that resonates with people out there when they hear from him.
I think so, too.